Okay, we're back with Grazel Garcia. How are you, Grazel?
I'm doing good, Scott. How are you?
Yeah, pretty tired, but yeah, I'm good.
Good.
um, I've got a question for you today from some people. I think maybe this is more of a guy problem than a girl problem, but you can tell me if I'm wrong. Um, there's a perception that when a couple goes to couples therapy, one side's going to be attacked because one side's going to be labeled as wrong. Do you ever find that when people first come to couples therapy?
Absolutely. It's not uncommon to feel attacked when you're talking about conflict in couples therapy. So it's very common actually. And it's not a bad thing. The only thing is like learning how to speak about that feeling when you go into couples therapy.
Hmm. Yeah, because I guess in someone's internal world, there's if they feel like they're going to be attacked, there's probably also an associated, oh, but I'm not justified in feeling that way. And then those two parts kind of play out and fight each other, and then you don't end up saying anything. And then the situation just gets worse. Um,
Yes, right.
so, why do you think people might feel blamed in couples therapy?
I think most couples come in to couples therapy already feeling blamed by their partner, and that's kind of what starts their negative cycle that they're coming in for couples therapy to break. So when we talk about conflicts in the room, when we're specifically talking about the fights, then one partner may share their experience in a criticizing way. So the receiver of that information, which is the other partner, can feel attacked, especially if both partners are not able to share feelings that drive their behaviors yet. So they're just going to think about how the other person affected them and they're going to point at their behaviors and they're going to start feeling attacked.
Mm. Yeah, do you feel the first part in any kind of couples therapy is getting both sides to develop enough self awareness to actually realize that it's not about them, it's about me?
Yes, that's the work in EFT that we do a lot. And I'm sure other couples treatment modalities too, right? Is getting to know the purpose of your behaviors and staying away from pointing at your partner's behaviors because that will get you in a negative cycle. That will fuel a negative pattern.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, how do you approach that in the room? If you've got one side who's being critical, one side's feeling attacked and getting defensive or shutting down or whatever their response is, how do you handle that situation in the room?
Great question. I mean, it's a lot of de-escalation strategies. So if there's in a couple, there's always a pursuer and a withdrawer.
Hmm?
A pursuer for connection and a withdrawer, not withdrawing from connection, but withdrawing from not feeling safe in the conflict that's arising. So in the room, let's say one of the partners is becoming critical, then I would focus on softening that partner first and understanding what's happening for them. If there's any hurt or pain underneath their pursuit for connection, that manifests in criticism.
Hmm.
So looking into that is going to soften their critical approach and then lead them to start talking about the pain that's caused by their partner, unintentionally, of course,
Yeah.
right? So, slowing their process down, really understanding what's going on underneath the criticism and their experiences so that I can guide them to talk about the pain that they're experiencing.
Yeah. And all that, that sounds like a de escalation strategy to me. Is that what you mean by de escalation strategy? Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
and that all feeds into making sure that both sides are emotionally regulated in the session. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes. And I mean, the work that I have to do with the one that's pursuing connection, the one that's becoming more critical, um, is quite different with the partner who's more withdrawn,
Mm.
and shuts down. So the partner who's more withdrawn and shut down, I have to create a lot more safety in getting them to engage in the connection. Because if they're continuously feeling criticized or attacked or blamed, it would be hard for them to engage because they don't feel safe, right? So that's another de-escalation strategy that leads to a lot of the slowing down leads to emotional regulation so that they can hear each other.
Mhm. Okay. So obviously you've got a lot of blame in the room. What's the shift you need to get to? So they're starting off with blaming one side's blaming the other, or they're both blaming each other for X, Y, Z. Where do they need to get to in terms of how they approach that conversation?
Understanding, kind of like what you said, what's going on for me,
Mm.
right? That I'm engaging in a behavior that makes my partner feel criticized or blamed.
Mhm.
What am I actually feeling versus what I'm thinking that makes them feel criticized or blamed?
Yeah.
Same for the other partner, right? Like what's going on for me that I keep defending myself and then I start blaming my partner too, right? Like really going inward and doing a self-assessment and seeing what is driving my criticism and blame behaviors.
Yeah. So it's about sort of developing that curiosity about what's going on for you, and I guess what's going on for your partner as well, and just being open and hearing that.
Being open, being able to park their defenses,
Mhm.
their protective strategies to park it, not to put it away, but to just park it on the side so that they can start being curious and hearing their partner's experiences too.
Okay. So, do you have any particular techniques or tools that you might have that actually helps a partner to feel heard and feel supported?
Yes, within the security, the science of attachment is true the validation of their experiences, that everything about how they're moving and interacting with each other makes sense based on the pain that they're carrying.
Hmm. That's a really nice phrase, science of attraction. Is that based from a book or is that your own thing?
No, it's the science of attachment
Oh,
is
attachment.
being able, yeah, the science of attachment, the core um things that's important to create a secure attachment with yourself and others is to be curious, be kind, and compassionate about your pain and the other person's pain, and really understanding that, okay, when we're in pain, we're going to protect ourselves. And in our protective strategies, we might start to blame, shut down, get angry, criticize. But it makes sense if you don't feel safe to share your pain and hurt to your partner. That's the first thing you're going to show first. Until you feel safe in your attachment with your partner, then you can take the risk in opening up because you know you're going to be received,
Hmm.
right? You know your partner is going to be there to hold space for your emotions that your partner was not able to do in the beginning of your work with the couples therapist
Hmm.
because there wasn't safety yet. So, yeah.
So, if someone's in that place, they're in pain. Is there a particular like neutral way of phrasing what's going on for them so that their partner isn't going to feel attacked or isn't going to be provoked in any way to get defensive? Do you see what I'm asking?
Yeah, if there's a neutral way on approaching the defenses so the other partner doesn't feel attacked, right?
I'm just putting myself in the mind of someone who's like, okay, yeah, that sounds like me. And I can see that I'm in a lot of pain. I don't feel safe sharing it. How can they kind of test the waters and just say something in the right way, so to speak?
Right, right. I would start, yeah, there's usually a script, but sometimes when you try to memorize a script, it doesn't work as well, but you really need to experience your pain and your hurt. So I usually guide couples to experience the feeling first and then kind of organize their process and reflect with meaning about their experiences and say, in moments when your partner is pointing at you because you weren't able to follow through on your tasks, you start to feel really bad that you're failing your partner again. And because you love your partner so much, you're afraid that you're going to be criticized again, but you're not letting them know that you're feeling afraid of disappointing them. So I wonder, so this would be the script, is that using I statements, I feel afraid to turn to you in moments when I sense that I've disappointed you
Mhm.
because I love you and I don't want to disappoint you. So when you listen to that script, I'm not just directly telling you what to do. I'm making sense of your experience and having you experience it in a way that's not directive, but it's more experiential. And you're using I statements, you're using a feeling that's coming up for you, and then you're using the importance of why your partner matters to you.
Yeah.
And that usually will not create any defense in the other partner if they hear it in that way.
Yeah, and I love the I statements because that's been a huge part of my own journey. Because when I would feel attacked, it would all be all about the other person, and then
Hmm.
as soon as you put the focus on you, it it diffuses so much of the kind of the backlash that you might get because you're not talking about them, you're talking about yourself. Um,
Right,
so
right. I love how you're summarizing it. It's always so powerful when you approach your partner by talking about how you're feeling versus what they're doing that's not working and what they need to do so that things could work. It doesn't work that way.
absolutely. Well, great. Yeah, thank you so much for your time on that. That's been a really interesting conversation. Have a great day.
You too, Scott.